Remember when handhelds were easy to hold in your hands, unlike all those monster retro handheld gaming PC things that every gaming retro YouTuber is now shilling to you, so you better click their link so they get a bit of cash from it. The things even the young kids on the bus would laugh at you for if you ever sat on it and played on it. Something that nobody would do if you actually played on a real handheld like a PSP or the Nintendo DS. If you play those in public, girls will ask you for your phone number and guys will give you a slap on the back and tell you that you're the man. And if you're a girl, then well, most guys will still think you're a fake gamer girl, just like in the old days. But what are some good games you can waste your time with? Games that won't really change your life because their stories impacted you so much that they were a life-changing experience. Games you turn on for a few rounds and then think you got your fill till next time like a good schnitzel. I love match 3 games, and this is one of my favorites because it's simple and cute. Sometimes you don't need more than that to have a good time. Look at those animations from those weird little freaks, how could you not love them? Even if you hate the concept of zoos nowadays as an adult, you will still want to play the game, and maybe it will make you rethink and visit your local zoo to maybe help them break out or something. There's even a realistic quest mode that feels like real life where your boss tells you what you have to do, and I always sucked at this. Like having to clear only a specific type of animal in the fewest steps or bringing the special tile to the bottom by clearing the animals under it and all that. If you do good, he gives you double points or even triple. If you suck, then he takes away most of your points, and after 10 missions you get a ranking. So if your real boss sucks like this guy, then you better not play the game, or maybe it will give you PTSD. All of that is kind of forgiven when you beat it and a game hits you with the backstory of why your boss is so mean. He's actually your dad. And his dream was to have the biggest zoo ever. But his wife, your mom, died and he blamed himself in a zoo with the animals since he thinks he was too selfish with his own goal to save her. But your good work showed him the error of his ways, and he is a changed man now. Even though he still looks like Hitler. I love endings that just come out of nowhere like this. I should play Drawn to Life again. There's one thing me and Izuna, the unemployed ninja, have in common. We are both ninjas. It's a dungeon crawler and it's not even one of the best you can get, but it's charming and good enough. And isn't that more important than gameplay sometimes? Why play a dungeon crawler where you have to play as some ugly guy if you can play as a cute bratty ninja that kinda pretends to be a cat girl with those things on her head? It just scratches that part of your brain that makes you keep going, especially since the game is not too hard, even for people who don't play dungeon crawlers a lot. Except if you go for the 100 floors dungeon, but that's optional. Not many people play them after all, unless they involve Pokemon. I wonder how many people played the mystery dungeon games as a kid but never any other kind of dungeon crawler that works like this. In my mind it's a high percentage. But maybe I'm wrong, like so often. One thing I am not wrong on is that we all cried when playing Explorers of Sky. Something you would not expect, crying because of a Pokemon game. Could say the same about Super Paper Mario. When I played it back in the day, I sat there in my room as a teenage boy and thought, why the fuck am I crying at a Mario game? I'm not supposed to cry at a Mario game. I don't think Mario will ever get a story like that again, and it makes me sad. The game also got one of the most relatable NPCs because this guy is really worried about becoming bald. Something that most men have to fight with, and I'm pretty sure if I would get bald one day, I would just kill myself. It's a thing that many are just told to accept, but not all of us have a fitting head to just shave it off. It wouldn't fit me. Luckily I was blessed with good hair so far, but you can never be too sure. So if I stop uploading videos one day, it's because I got bald. You just make your way through dungeons, then maybe die and lose all of your items and money, but it's fine because now you have gathered more experience to tackle the enemies and you can kinda brute force your way through the game like that. But there's also tactical aspects to it. Like thinking about if you want to put a charm onto your weapon to make it stronger, or keep it to unleash a big fire attack, and then die anyways. What makes it great for noobs, like me, is that you heal whenever you move, so if you defeat all enemies on the floor, you can just run back and forth to get full HP before moving down. There's better dungeon crawlers out there for sure, but none with a cuter main character. She's even making a comeback soon and I wonder if it will turn into Vaporwave. It has been a while since I last talked about it after teasing it. If you want a first person one, then just go with any of the Ethereal Odyssey games, or Strange Journey if you want to sit down and reconsider your life when hitting certain spots in the game. You actually do need to be a masochist to enjoy dungeon crawlers sometimes, so be happy I recommended you an easier one. You know why there isn't a game like this for drinking problems? Because alcoholics know it's lame to stop. It is just like what Pringles says, once you pop, you don't stop, accept your fate. So this game is a time waster because you will be wasting your time if you try to stop smoking. Just keep doing it, you surely look extremely cool when smoking, just like your favorite movie star. Because your life is a movie too. The quality of it does not matter since it does not matter to the average person and they will watch and enjoy anything anyways. Same goes for games or music or anything really. I mean, Tetris is probably the most classic game to waste your time with, and for me Tetris DS is maybe one of the best versions of it. The only other one that can hold its own against it is Cardcaptor Sakura Tetris on the PlayStation 1. No idea why they don't play the Tetris World Cup on that game. I hope some Tetris geek sees this so they can tell me in great detail the reasons for that. That I would not care about since normal Tetris looks boring in comparison to cute anime girls or Nintendo characters on the screen. This makes me sound like a man-child, but aren't we all one for even playing video games? The puzzle mode will make you feel like an actual idiot at times, or maybe I'm just stupid because sometimes even when I just tried out every combination possible, there was no solution. So the game has bugged mechanics, there was nothing I could have done.
Dogs. Why am I poisoned? Why am I toxic? What?
Luckily it just lets you skip through any puzzle you want, so you don't have to first do 1, 2, 3 and so on, and can just jump right into the hard ones if you want to. If you feel like a smarty pants. A real smart person wouldn't even wear pants because they're not that comfy. If you wear pants at home, you're weird. But wear them outside I guess, otherwise you may get sued or something like that. Wear shorts. Not much else to say really, except that it's Tetris and there's only touch controls in one game mode that you can just ignore, because thinking about playing Tetris with a stylus is kinda not the most fun you can have. For people who want Tetris with an even crazier control scheme, should check out Tetris Party Deluxe on the Wii, where you can use the balance board, and I played it once for a video and it surprisingly was fun. Nintendo should bring that board back, and the shelf vitality sensor that you can clamp onto your dick to measure how much blood flows into it when you see Princess Peach or Rosalina to get statistics on which woman attracts more men. I'm not including Daisy because everyone knows she's the worst one. A game where Suda51 thought it would be really funny to pretty much waste the player's time with tons of fetch quests, doing basic math questions and other silly things, and you wonder why you're enjoying it, despite knowing it's thanks to the comfy atmosphere, the soundtrack and the overall writing. I mostly just wanted to include it as a joke because it's a time waster in the best possible sense. I wouldn't really recommend it to the average person though. Only for real sickos. In a way you could say it's Twin Peaks but on a beach. If it sounds good to you, then maybe you should check it out and actually play the Silver Case Before the 2 or any of the other Suda51 games that kinda relate to it. Game on. If you don't know what to do with your time, you should watch Game Center CX, or at least the episodes of some of your favorite games. It's a show about an older Japanese man who has to beat games or else he can never see his family again because they won't let him go home till he does. And he kinda sucks at them, even after doing the show for a long time now. You have probably seen him before, but I can't really show clips of it because the guys behind the shows are more strict than my old math teacher, who sometimes would invite me home to his place and I always declined. The game is about defeating challenges in made up retro games. You could say it's like UFO 50 for the DS. You are not allowed to pick what game you want to play and have to play through a couple of challenges before you get the next game, and I think in a way I maybe would have liked UFO 50 more if that game did the same, because you are forced to play a game for better or worse. After defeating the challenges you also get to fully play the game. In UFO 50 you can dip your toes into a game and after a few minutes you decide nah, next, without ever maybe coming back to it because of its bad first impression. But this game makes you feel like one of those days where you rented a bad game from the video store or even bought it, so now you're forced to play it and still find the fun in it despite not liking it too much. And eventually maybe even warm up to it. At first I didn't like Haggleman, but after playing it more I thought, well, this is actually fun. It's also really charming, where you get manuals for the games and also magazines where you sometimes can read up on cheats and tips on how to make the games easier. Like getting unless continuous or being more powerful and all that. It also has an okay variety of games from shoot 'em ups to racing to JRPGs to Ninja Gaiden. But the thing I like the most is how sassy you can be towards Arino. He talks about how it's quite normal to smash controllers when you lose at a game, and he asks you what you do when you get mad at a game, so you can tell that you just put the controller down and meow like a cat. I actually do that too in real life. It really helps you to calm down. No, I will not demonstrate it to you. That's no. There's also a second and third game, but only the second game got a translation by fans because this one flopped hard, and I wonder why. Couldn't have been because of the terrible cover and somewhat lame name that just makes you think it's a bunch of old retro games nobody cares about on a cartridge, right? Look at the ancient meme on the back. Now that's the good shit. I wanna go back. Also, I use the undubbed version because why would I listen to some random American guy if I can get the original voices instead? Not like it matters if you never watched the show, I guess. Puchi Virus is just another really cute puzzle game where you have to destroy cells with triangles and do big combos to impress your nurse chicken George. Or Honeydew if you have boring taste in women. I think I could actually become a vegan if chicken wouldn't be so tasty. The only meat I would not live without, I think. And Met, which is raw minced meat that we Germans love to put onto buns with some pepper and onions, and it's really tasty. I can only recommend it if you ever visit Germany. It sounds stupid, but you don't make fun of sushi, right? Sushi is raw fish and people don't make fun of it. But if I say I eat raw meat, people make fun of me. Why? What's the difference? Fish is meat is meat, both are raw. What's the problem here? Puzzle games like this are always the games where I can say the least about them because they explain themselves well enough just by watching a little bit of gameplay, and I mostly like it for the cute presentation and also the little dialogue the patients give you after you rescue them, since the virus turned them into animals. And I'm gonna be honest, if someone turned me into an animal this cute, then I wouldn't want to be fixed. Why not stay as a cute little catfisher? I wonder how many handsome doctors have to deal with women like this who watch too many of those doctor shows. Better than having a little shit like this throwing rocks at his sister though, I guess. We should have not fixed this guy, he should have just lived his life as an animal. Then he can't throw rocks unless he's an ape, because apes have hands and cats don't really. Like, have you ever seen a cat throw something? No. I would have also included the style savvy games, but only the first one is on the DS, so it's more like a 3DS franchise for me. The DS one still holds up though, but if I would talk more about it, would anyone here even be interested in it? Probably not. I should open up a fashion channel instead. Even though I'm actually not that much into fashion either, but those games are just really fun, okay? So maybe you should check them out a bit. Even if you only wear black shirts with cargo shorts. It's really fun to dress up people. And then there's also other games like Puzzle Quest, Ragnarok DS, Animal Crossing and a bunch of others. Videos like this always make me think I don't want to leave this one out, but I have to, otherwise there would be like 20 games and it would go on for like an hour. And most of the time I like to keep it short like myself. Sorry, I always have to mention I'm short as a coping mechanic. With that said, I hope you will have a good day, a good night, or whatever fits your time zone, and enjoyed the video. Always remember, it's never a waste of time if you had fun, even if it was. Who needs to learn a hobby that can bring you farther in life if you got video games? Bye bye.